For decades, this has been the sound of convenience. The gentle sizzle of an egg in a pan, sliding, perfect and untouched, right onto your plate. No sticking, no scrubbing, no mess. It was sold to millions as a kitchen miracle. But what if that miracle was a mirage? What if behind that effortless glide lies a toxic secret? A billion-dollar lie that has quietly seeped into our water, our food, and our blood. The company that sold you this dream knew the nightmare it was hiding, and the evidence was buried in their own files. This is the story of how a revolutionary discovery became a global health crisis, and how corporate greed kept the truth locked away for more than half a century. The miracle discovery. Our story starts in a DuPont laboratory in 1938 with a moment of pure luck. A chemist named Roy Plunkett was working with refrigerant gases when he found a canister that should have been full was seemingly empty. Frustrated, he sawed the cylinder open and found a bizarre, waxy white powder inside. This powder was unlike anything science had ever seen. It was so slippery, almost nothing would stick to it, and it could withstand intense heat and corrosive acids. Plunkett had accidentally created polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE. In 1945, DuPont patented it under a catchier name, Teflon. But before Teflon ever touched a frying pan, it had a secret life. During World War II, its first critical mission was for the Manhattan Project. It was the only material that could contain the incredibly corrosive gas needed to build the first atomic bomb. After the war, a French engineer figured out how to bond Teflon to aluminium. In 1954, he created the first non-stick pan, and the world of home cooking was never the same. Teflon cookware became a symbol of modern living, generating over $1 billion a year. But to make this miracle, DuPont depended on another chemical, one that would become the poison in the heart of their empire: the deception. To make Teflon, DuPont used a processing agent called perfluorooctanoic acid, better known as PFOA or C8. And it's here that this story of innovation becomes one of calculated deception. Because while DuPont was marketing the magic of non-stick living, their own private documents told a very different story. The alarm bells started ringing inside the company as far back as the 1960s. A 1961 company-funded report revealed C8 could cause birth defects in rats. Internal animal studies confirmed it was toxic. The company knew. Yet they doubled down, actively hiding the evidence. They buried the studies, never told the Environmental Protection Agency, and as production soared at their plant in Parkersburg, West Virginia, the poison spilled into the community. The company went so far as to quietly remove female employees from the Teflon division to protect their unborn children, but never told them the real reason why. For decades, DuPont and 3M, the original maker of C8, publicly insisted the chemical was harmless. All the while, the proof of its toxicity was sitting in their locked file cabinets. They knew C8 was a forever chemical, a substance their own scientists found didn't break down in the environment or in people. It just builds up. This happened through a perfect storm of corporate greed and regulatory failure. C8 was grandfathered in under the 1976 Toxic Substances Control Act, meaning it never faced proper safety testing. For decades, the EPA had to rely on data voluntarily handed over by the very corporations profiting from it. The unraveling and the human cost. The truth finally began to claw its way into the light in the late 1990s thanks to a cattle farmer. Wilbur Tennant of Parkersburg was watching his herd die from gruesome tumors and deformities. He knew something was wrong with the land and suspected the DuPont landfill just upstream. His lawsuit brought him to a corporate defense attorney, Robert Bilott, who took the case. That decision kicked off a 2-decade war against one of the most powerful corporations on the planet. Bilott's investigation unearthed a mountain of incriminating internal documents, the very proof DuPont had hidden for a generation. He found staggering evidence that the company knew C8 was toxic and had knowingly poisoned the drinking water of 70,000 people. The discovery triggered a massive class action lawsuit and an independent science panel. Their conclusions were a bombshell. The panel found probable links between PFOA exposure and a horrifying list of diseases: kidney cancer, testicular cancer, thyroid disease, high cholesterol, ulcerative colitis, and pregnancy-induced hypertension. People were getting sick and dying. This isn't just about Parkersburg. PFOA is just one of thousands of forever chemicals known as PFAS. They are now in rainwater, our soil, and in the blood of nearly every person on Earth. Recent studies have expanded the list of health concerns, with research from late 2025 linking PFAS exposure to higher infant mortality and preterm births. A December 2025 report estimated the annual health burden from these chemicals could be as high as $2.2 trillion. The legal fallout has been immense. In 2017, DuPont paid $671 million to settle thousands of cases in Parkersburg. In 2025, they reached another settlement with New Jersey for over $2 billion. As of late 2025, over 15,000 PFAS lawsuits were still pending. Look, I know this is infuriating. The sheer scale of the deception is hard to wrap your head around, but knowing the truth is the first step. If this story shocks you, please consider sharing this video. So many people still have no idea. Spreading awareness is how we start to demand real accountability. The solution and empowerment. So, what can you do about this in your own home? First, a myth. The danger isn't just from a scratched pan. When Teflon pans get too hot, over 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which can happen in minutes, the coating can release toxic fumes. But the far greater threat was always the PFOA used in manufacturing, which has now contaminated the globe. PFOA was phased out in the US by 2015, but many PFOA-free pans simply use other, newer PFAS chemicals whose safety is a huge, unanswered question. The simplest way to protect your family is to step away from chemical non-stick coatings altogether. Fortunately, the best alternatives have been trusted for centuries. Cast iron. It's a legend. Nearly indestructible, it holds heat beautifully, and when seasoned, develops a natural non-stick surface that improves with use. Stainless steel, the workhorse of pro kitchens. It's versatile with no coating to worry about. The secret is to heat the pan before you add oil. Carbon steel. Think of it as cast iron's lighter cousin. It has the same seasoned non-stick properties and is prized by chefs. Ceramic cookware. A modern option, but be careful. Look for brands that are 100% ceramic or have a non-toxic sand-derived coating certified free of all PFAS, lead, and heavy metals. The story of Teflon is a brutal lesson in the hidden cost of convenience. For decades, a corporate titan put profits before people, leaving a toxic legacy that will outlast us all. They sold us an easy solution, packaged in a simple promise. They sold us a lie, but the truth is finally out. And while governments are slowly starting to act, with the EPA setting new drinking water standards and the EU moving toward a broad PFAS ban, the real power begins in our own kitchens. By choosing safer cookware, we're doing more than just protecting our families. We are sending a message that we will not be deceived. We are taking back control of our health, one pan at a time. They sold us a lie. It's time we start cooking with the truth. If you made it this far, thank you. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, subscribe, and share it. It's the easiest way to help more people discover this story.